Hey, and thanks for joining me for another video. This one is for the 900 Global Altered Reality. Storm Products, Turbo Grips, Bowler's Mart, CoolWick, SRGBBFS on Facebook, and Royal Crest Lanes in Lawrence, Kansas sponsor the videos. Follow the links in the description and at the end of the video to Bowler's Mart for your bowling needs. That lets them know I sent you. My code Rosdahl10 gets you 10% off your purchases at CoolWick, like the new Fire Honeycomb Quick Ship I'm wearing, and the SRGBBFS group on Facebook is your one-stop destination for all things SPI, specializing in used, rare, and international equipment. The altered reality is simple math. It's the Pearl version of the reality. You're in for a rare treat here. This video features me actually throwing the ball well for the majority of it. I know this is unprecedented. Please try to control your excitement, but if this one doesn't pop your eyebrows up right away, I'm not sure what it takes to excite you. The original reality is shockingly fast on the back end for as much as it hooks, and the altered is exactly perfectly spot on with what you'd expect a Pearl reality to be. It still hooks quite a bit, but is obviously longer, sharper, and a bit weaker than the reality. The altered feels to me like a longer and sharper parallax effect, but it's got that same really blendy strength to it that the stronger cover balls do, like the effect, dark code, etc. I was in the minority, but I'm a huge parallax fan due to its strength, big control, and consistency. For most people it was too slow, but on the left side of the lane it's a god ball, and the altered is that plus a lot more shape. Stuff like the X2 and Alert and UC2 are great, but sometimes they're too clean or just don't have the traction, and since the parallax effect was too much hook and shape and just everything for me, I've really been wanting a complement to my original parallax that was the same general feel but more shape for when it's just too slow. The altered is a bit cleaner and definitely a lot sharper, but with that strong but blendy feel that I like rather than being so chuggy or wanting to slow down or dig in so fast like the effect. The altered acts a lot like something like the RSTX2. It's just a stronger version for when you like the general shape but just need more raw traction or stability. Comparing it to the original, you can see it's exactly what you'd expect. The overall shapes are very similar, but the reality is just earlier, stronger, and smoother. They're obvious complements. If the altered is too long or weak, pick the reality. If it's too early or too much, ball down to the altered. The reality has been incredibly popular with all levels of bowler. It's simple and effective for lower averages, and for the pros, it fits a gap between something like a Proton Physics, which is stronger but pretty smooth, and a Rubicon, which is faster or sharper but doesn't quite have the teeth. The reality is like a combo of both, almost as much traction as the Proton and almost as much shape as the Rubicon. Bonus comparison since it's just me in this one with the dark code. The dark code is a similar strength. You have to look closely, but you can see the smooth kind of blend of length and traction that balls like the RSTX2 and UC2 don't have. They kind of float or really skid for the first 30 feet. You can see the dark getting down the lane, but at the same time really starting to develop some traction earlier, stabilizing and getting ready to hook when it hits harder friction rather than gliding and pushing so easily. The Altered does the same thing. It's a nice balance between skid and traction slash strength. It's marginally slower than the X2 or UC2, so it's not something you can just fling out there and expect it to pick up and turn sideways. The laws of physics still exist, but balls like the Dark and the Altered very neatly fit a gap. The Dark is just a little earlier and smoother slash rounder than the Altered. The Altered Reality releases December 10th with the Wolverine. Both are sharp-looking balls that are very well placed in not only the global lineup, but in regard to the Storm and Roto catalogs also. If you're a reality fan, this one's kind of a no-brainer, and if you find yourself just missing that look that's part dark code, part RSTX2, and part parallax effect, the Altered will get it done. Thanks for watching, and may the strikes be with you.